Boom.
And we are live everywhere. All right. Hello, Idiots on Parade, the Too Ugly for TV podcast. We mock the news so you don't have to. I am Nathan Timmel, stand up comedian in Iowa City. With me, as always, is Jake Vevera, stand up comedian in New York City. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
All is well here. I just got home from my daughter's graduation. Graduation, high school, college? No, eighth grade. I don't understand why we have a graduation from eighth grade, but I don't remember getting an eighth grade. I thought it was high school graduation and then college graduation. Apparently, it's elementary school, it's middle school, and high school now. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I guess it's just going to be a more frequent thing because we have 3K out here, which is a year before pre-K, and we're having a graduation for 3K.
Wow.
So I guess we're just going to graduate every year now, man.
As long as we don't have to buy presents every time, I am okay with it. So, Bob, not bad news, but this is not a bonus Idiots on Parade. Jake is going on vacation, so this is technically Sundays. This is Sundays Idiots on Parade. We're getting it out of the way first so Jake can go relax.
Yeah, I'm not going to have like a good setup down there. The Wi-Fi is going to be shaky. It's going to be in like a little beach house. So I don't want to chance it with the Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi is usually not great in those spots, you know.
Yeah, plus you're surrounded by family and you don't want to be like, all right, I'm going to go huddle off in a bedroom so I can yap at this asshole and we can make fun of the news.
Yeah, screaming about dick jokes and things like that while everyone's trying to have a good time, have kids around there. We don't want to do that.
We don't. All right, let's jump right in. Several things I sent you. So we recorded on Monday. We are recording on Friday, and I sent you things on Wednesday, and everything has changed since Wednesday. I'll just bang out like, let's see, the where is it? Oh, Milli Vanilli was one of the remaining acts on the 250 concert. Vanilla Ice then, and Milli Vanilli dropped out, or whichever one is still alive. Then Vanilla Ice was the
I was going to say,
remaining.
Millie would be rolling in their grave right now if they knew Vanilli was there doing Trump stuff.
But now the whole concert is off. Now the whole thing has been canceled, and it will be a full-on Trump rally, a MAGA rally, the best rally ever held, according to him. So, yeah, I just thought it was funny that even the people dropping out were, there was never any A-listers on this.
Shawn Michaels was on there. I mean, from Poison, I'll still count him as an A-lister.
I've seen Poison live, unfortunately. It was because they opened up for Motley Crue in like 2010 or 11. The tickets were $20. We went to have a laugh, and it was great. It was the funniest thing you've ever seen.
Shawn Michaels is the fucking man.
No, they were Poison. I don't understand how they ever headlined. I watched them for 1 hour opening for Motley Crue.
Well, but dude, this isn't 2010. This isn't in 1982 or whatever.
I mean, but they didn't even have that. I recognized "Talk Dirty to Me." The Heavy Rose Has Its Thorn and Weather. I'm like, they had 3 songs. Like, how do you headline every other song?
It's a hair band. It's very much a time and a place kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain genres of music that age better than others. Old hippie works. You know what I mean? Jer Bear, old with gray hair, Grateful Dead still work. That's why they had people following them around until their early 80s. I think they still do Dead & Co. now. It still works. Old hippie works. Old punk rocker, not so much. Old hair metal guy, when you're bald like me, not so much. It doesn't work. Like those guys had long hair. They dressed like they were in drag. That does not work as a 60-year-old man. It just doesn't.
But that's why I enjoyed the concert, because they weren't 60 then. They were 50. But
it doesn't work that either.
But I'm just saying, it was hilarious because they were acting like they were 19, and I could not stop laughing.
Okay, right. That's to my point. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Motley Crue played, you recognized every song. Their least popular song was Saints of L.A., and even that was their like minor comeback, but they played everything from the 80s. But Vince was out there like, "Are you motherfuckers ready to rock? Fuck yeah!" And we're just like, dude, Just the way they were yelling, it was
It's
hilarious.
tough,
But
man.
Poison was fucking boring for the 1 hour they were on stage. Motley Crue brought it because they were funny.
Well, I mean, come on, man. How many other hair bands are going to have as many hits as Motley Crue? That's why Motley Crue is headlining. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like that's why they were headlining.
I
will say, go ahead.
I've said this once before, not on the podcast. I talked about it just once. Motley Crue had, I believe, the most power in the 1980s of any band, because if you think about it, they came out first with makeup and leather and sort of, the shout at the devil look, and a lot of bands copied that. So they said, okay, we can't do any of that anymore. Let's go glam. We'll put on glitter. And then every band, Bon Jovi, Kiss, even Judas Priest put on glitter. So then for girls, they said, okay, we don't want to do glitter again. Let's just put on jeans and leather. And then every band started putting on jeans. Like Motley Crue set the tone for hair metal. Whatever Motley Crue did, every band did for their next album. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean Motley Crue's got more hits than you can name. I mean, truly, like especially at the time. That's probably if I had to pick a band that this kind of defines the genre, and this truly was their genre. Whereas like Kiss is kind of a different thing, Guns N' Roses is kind of a different thing, but like hair metal, Motley Crue's the king of hair metal.
I agree with you on Guns N' Roses, but that's how much power Motley Crue had. Is Kiss came out of the 70s, the biggest band in the world. Then they started to stumble, lost a couple members, took their makeup off, and Lick It Up, their first album without makeup, was sort of like leathery jeans, like Motley Crue adjacent. But then when Motley Crue went glam, Kiss went all glam. They went from fucking leaders of the pack to, Motley Crue's doing it, we better do it too. Kiss, that was the one that surprised me, is how quickly Kiss became followers throughout the 80s, chasing trends instead of being trendsetters. So yes, to build on your point, Motley Crue was so big, they got Kiss to copy them throughout the 80s. And that blew my mind when that happened.
Well, I think that's because Kiss, to be fair, I will say, I don't think you get hair metal without Kiss. I think Kiss was kind of an early cartoon version of that, as if hair metal's not cartoony enough.
First album was sort of copying Kiss.
Well, yeah. I mean, Kiss was doing that in the 70s, and they had full on like makeup, But I think it became one of those things like, okay, are we going to keep doing this forever? There's another genre that's kind of based off of what we're doing. Let's go be that. I kind of get how, you know what I mean? Like, are we going to do Destroyer again? I don't know how many times you can keep doing that with the makeup and everything when things are sort of changing. So I get why they would want to at least try to adapt to that.
Yeah, I get that too,
I mean, I'll still give credit where credit's due. Those guys were kind of the trailblazers for what
they were
hair metal. Yeah,
that's why it was so shocking to watch them go from the tip of the spear to the followers. But I would say this about Kiss: I would rather, and they didn't do it, so it's nice. I would rather have 3 Destroyers than 1 Asylum, because their 80s output was pretty bad.
See, but that's the thing. That's why it's kind of a blessing and a curse that the Beatles ended when they did, kind of went out at their peak. On one hand, you're like, what if they kept making music like the Stones for the next 97 years or whatever, but then you go, yeah, but would every album would have been as good as the White Album? Or would they have been like, hey, Paul, let's grow our hair. Let's put on lipstick and eyeliner, Paul. Let's do that, and they're trying to do the hair metal thing as the Beatles, would that have ended up happening? We don't know.
Well, even if that didn't happen, 2 of my favorite bands, my favorite band of all time is The Police, and they walked away on top too. They came back and did a reunion tour, but they didn't try and put out a new album. U2. I am a huge fan of U2, and I will be the first to say that you can trace back to 1999 and on, where it's like, oh, this is a good complete album. Oh, this is half a good album. Oh, this one has 1 good song. Oh, this album sucks. The older U2 gets, the more they should just, I don't want to say walk away, or have the dignity, like Kiss at the end, when Kiss put the makeup back on and started doing the Forever reunion tour.
Right.
They didn't put out new songs.
Once it became
they just
a
said,
thing
all right,
again. Yeah, we're just going to be a legacy act.
yeah, and that's what U2 could and possibly should have done. Sting put out a bad album a few years ago, but then he put out a great single last year where it's just like, no, I don't need to put out and I don't need to sit and put out a mediocre album. I've got an idea for one song, and it's called I Wrote Your Name Upon My Heart, and he just put out one song. That's what you can do when you have achieved that. U2 wrote, like Rolling Stones could have done that. They could have said, we don't need to put out an entire album. We don't have it in it. Oh, we got an idea for a song. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah, I mean,
Grub's over here on YouTube. Where's me spandex, Ringo? Where's me spandex?
I tore a hole in me fishnets. Yeah.
Yes.
It would have been rough, man.
Well, we jumped off that from the canceled concert, but yeah, now it's not even a concert. But man, so it was Brett Mike. Oh, but Lee Greenwood will be part of the rally, so it will still have music because he will sing "Proud to Be an American." So
there you go.
We will still get music at the
Lee Greenwood and Vanilla Ice. That feels right.
Yeah,
that feels like a good combo for Trump in 2026.
Why not?
Those do seem like the only two guys who wouldn't give a shit about not releasing the Epstein file and going to war with Iran clearly to enrich yourself.
Yep. The other thing I sent you, the headline was Trump tells CNN he doesn't know if the $1.8 billion fund is dead, calling it, quote, a beautiful thing. There were several stories talking about how the House is going to put to a vote, and there were Republicans dissenting, saying this is too much money. Well, it passed. So it looked for a moment like Republicans might say, we can't just give $1.8 billion to anybody that, like fucking the pillow fella said he was going to apply for a grant. Anybody that was like January 6th, those assholes, anyone that was rightfully
you can buy a lot
arrested,
of goddamn pillows with 1.8 billion.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, but so that it looks like it's gone through. It was part of the budget that was passed. Kind of sad.
Can't he pay off the MyPillow guy in sneakier ways like they do most payoffs in the government? Can't the MyPillow guy get government contracts? Can't it be like we have so many cots to fill in the Army? Now, I will tell you as somebody that was in for 7 years, deployed twice, really fucking uncomfortable pillows. All right. We could have used a MyPillow. Okay. And they could Trump could buy this. And look, as much as I don't want Trump to get rich and I don't want the MyPillow guy to get rich, I care about the head and neck support of our troops more than my own politics. I hope that he gets the MyPillow guy to give pillows to the troops, give MyPillows to the troops. And he can do the same thing that all of the government contracts that go to the military do. We were getting like refurbished M4s and stuff like that. Well, new, but basically the same ones you could get refurbished at the time for like $800-900. The government was paying these guys like $3,000 a pop for these things. So whatever, $70 MyPillow is going to be like a $200 pillow because, contracting fees and whatnot.
Contracting markup.
Yeah. Why does the MyPillow guy need this money? Can't he do a sneakier scam?
I mean, you'd think so. It would be. I agree with you. I have no notes. Like I do not like Trump. I do not like MyPillow guy. I agree that if they want to grease the wheels, don't make it so blatant. Literally, just do a shady contract. I would be more than fine with a shady contract.
Yeah, it's not that I love all the shady contracts, but me bitching about the shady contracts ain't making them go away. All right, somebody's still overpaying in the government for M4s and every single piece of bomb, missile, whatever, man. The toilets are going to be like $20,000. So, overpay to the MyPillow guy. Get some decent pillows for our troops.
I agree. It's the best take on it. All right, next story. I'm going to
Sophie and Ken says on YouTube says I think I'd rather use a sack full of dirty underwear than a MyPillow. You think I've never had to use that? Yeah, especially in the field. Yeah. No, I'll take the MyPillow.
We're just talking military. If you are a civilian, you have choices. You support the free market. I would rather, My dirty underwear is not too bad. I change it daily, so I
Yeah.
knock on wood. I haven't had an accident in a while, so my dirty underwear. Well, when I come from the gym, it's pretty bad.
Do
But
you think the My Pillow guy has a spin-off company called My Dirty Underwear, and he, it's as
no,
comfy as
that
My Pillow, gently
I
used?
actually. Whoa, I'm having an idea, Jake. This could be another get rich quick scheme of ours. My dirty underwear vending machine in Japan. Oh wait, they already do it there. God damn it!
Hell
Too late.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, you're right. It can't be the My Pillow guy. I don't think there's guys in Japan going, "Hey, do you have the My Dirty Underwear from the My Pillow guy?" I got a real niche fetish. Oh, you got schoolgirls, huh? I remember my first beer. I'm far past that. Nah, I'm into way weirder stuff now.
Do they still have the vending machines, or do you think that OnlyFans has set up like that woman that was selling her farts in a jar, where she would fart in a jar and said, do you think it's just a direct dirty underwear mailing now from women? Just they find the Japanese guys
I don't
online.
know, man. Now I know I've told the story on here before about the episode of Real Sex where they showed the dirty panties, getting sent through the mail, and these people were just using like tuna juice and stuff like that to make it smell.
I do not remember you talking
Oh
about
my
this.
God, really? Okay. Well, this is why I'm shocked that the used panty industry is even still alive. It's kind of like how when you go in Times Square and you see that there's still a giant Scientology building, and you're going, who's signing up for Scientology after the Going Clear doc? Like now that this is way out in the open, you can Google what these people are doing. Who's signing up now? Not that joining a cult is great or the smartest thing 20 years ago. But now that it's all out there, I'm like, who the hell's doing it now, right? With the used panty industry, I remember seeing an episode of Real Sex when I was a kid, which Real Sex for the young ones out there, kind of a gross show because they would have like what you would expect, but then they would have like gross kind of segments here. They'd be like, oh, here's a segment about strippers in Atlanta. Now here's a segment about porn stars in Las Vegas. Now here's a segment about 70-year-old swingers banging in the mud in Tennessee. I'm like, what? I don't want real sex anymore. I want fake sex. Go back to the fake sex. This got too real. Like, what is this? I can smell it through the screen. I can hear Jimmy Buffett playing, even though there's no music right now. You know what I mean? Like, it was fucking gross. And so anyway, they did a segment about used panties, and they had they were showing ads being taken out in the in the porn mags at the time. You'd flick through it. You remember how there'd be like weird ads for for sex toys and things like that, phone sex and whatever. Well, they would be ads for used panties, and they'd have the picture of the porn star, and it had the guys that ran the company on there and the porn star, and they'd showed them taking pictures of her, kind of using these thongs to floss with down there or whatever, and then shoving them in a bag and sending them to some lucky buyer, And I'm shocked that these guys even put this on the air because I was speechless. The guys go, sometimes our model runs dry. So what we do is we make our own little concoction filled with a secret recipe that does just the same trick. And it shows them it's got the panties and the bags next to like jars of like mayonnaise and tuna cans and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, why are you doing that? The perverts who are ordering the panties through the magazines, they probably watch Real Sex. That's a Venn diagram that probably crosses. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I want to be part of that lawsuit. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do that. Why? You guys are the Milli Vanillis of used panties. And you're like outing yourself. This is the equivalent of if Milli Vanilli or Jessica Simpson just walked out on stage while the thing was going, hey, look, I'm saying different words. Whichever one. If they just kind of yelled into the microphone, I'm not really singing right now. Look, the thing's playing, but I'm saying this. It's totally fake. That's what these guys did. And somehow people are still buying used panties.
And that's our get rich quick scheme. We are going to create and be a part of the class action lawsuit. Did you buy used underpants off the internet from a sexy woman? Well, they may not be real. You may be entitled to compensation. I got bad news. Tired was looking online while we were talking. Vending machines dispensing underwear, almost entirely a myth. In the 90s, a few underground adult shops tucked them inside, but local government ordinances, like a 2004 Tokyo Amendment, effectively banned the practice. Boo.
Okay, so it was like a really niche
I hate
thing.
reality. I hate facts. I like
Big
my
government putting
illusions.
its
I like
foot
my
on the neck
myths.
of the little guy. That's what I see.
Ben Gay and a yes.
But no, here's what we do. Here's how we start this lawsuit. Me and you are going to each order some used panties off the internet. Then we send the used panties to what? 23andMe. And when that thing comes back, instead of, a 50% Scottish, 10% Irish, part Swahili or whatever, if it comes back, 10% salmon juice, 50% lemon oil. 12% mayonnaise. If it starts coming back looking like a Caesar salad recipe, then that's what we throw in front of the jury,
I was going to say if it comes back 10% club sandwich, 3% bacon. Yeah, but you went accurate. I was but yeah, it's we're on the same page. But that's how
I hope our lawyer argues this in court as passionately as Matthew McConaughey at the end of Time to Kill. You know what I mean? I hope he's up there just screaming at the jury, passion. Just imagine the used panties were white. Imagine they were white.
We're on it. This is our lottery ticket out of here.
Hell yeah.
All right. Now I have a question to ask you because I sent you the link and I don't have Netflix. Did you check out the new Michael Jackson documentary on
No,
on
is that out yet?
I thought it said it was. I sent you the link
I didn't think it was out yet. I haven't had time this week, honestly, to really watch anything. My mom's been in town. I'm going out of town in a week.
The most explosive revelations from Netflix new Michael Jackson documentary. I can't believe there are still explosive. I think that's clickbait. There can't be anything left. But the reason I sent you that is because I had heard several weeks earlier, and I went back and found an article from May 21st. So a couple weeks ago. Michael sequel, Lionsgate film chief promises, quote, a big and satisfying movie with most popular music still to come. Michael, the smash hit biopic, makes it clear that moviegoers haven't seen the last of Michael Jackson, with the film ending with the words, his story continues. Okay.
Boy, does it.
How are you going to handle the sequel? You ended it perfectly. This is before he went on the pedophile train, at least that we know of. How do you do a sequel ignoring what came next? How do you promise that? What are you going to do? Are you going to go through the next album bad? Or I didn't see Michael, but I know it ended before everything explosive. But that's why I thought it was interesting. The timing of Michael comes out, it's a big hit. And then Netflix drops the documentary saying, oh, by the way, the guy you're celebrating, yeah, he still fucked little boys.
Yeah. It's the name of your movie is called Michael. Our documentary is called Dirty Mike.
I was waiting to get dinged on TikTok for that. Ghost Pepper's liking the live. Thank you, Ghost Pepper.
There we go. Thank you, Ghost Pepper.
But how do they handle the sequel? Are they going to literally ignore everything that happened? Because the whole article is him pumping up. We are excited about the progress of making this with respect to a second villain. The first Michael, I would say there are a ton. There is a ton of incredibly entertaining Michael Jackson stories, and much of the biggest and best, most popular.
Boy, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, we can go into things. We know that things might not be chronological. We can go forwards and backwards. They're dancing around it.
Yeah. I did think that a biopic, a story about someone's life, about Michael Jackson ending in the year 1988. Real convenient
Charlie on TikTok says the second movie is going to be about him saving bubbles.
That's right.
It's a sequel to the Clint Eastwood Every Which Way But Loose, Any Which Way You Can, with the orangutan, right turn Clyde or right turn Clyde. Bam. Yeah.
Yes. I actually wrote the sequel. It's called Those Kids Are Lying. Part 2 of the Michael Jackson biopic story.
Sophie and Ken says they're going to ignore the pedophilia as hard as Republicans are ignoring Epstein.
Yes, I've written a movie called Jeff. It's about a good-looking financier who slept with age-appropriate women on his island. It ends in 2003. Nothing to see here. Nothing crazy happens afterwards. I've also written a biographical, an autobiographical pick about me. It's called Jake, about a good-looking guy with a full head of hair and a dick that still works. Ends in 2013. Go check out Jake in theaters now.
I told you the best tweet I saw when Michael came out was from TV's Frank from Mystery Science Theater 3000. I will never forget this. It just came out and said,
Right, Frank
hey,
Connors,
Michael's done so well at the box office. Hollywood's now making a John Wayne Gacy movie that just focuses on his career as a clown. I'm like, that's
right.
just fucking funny.
We know him only as a clown and a dude who got railroaded by a corrupt justice system.
Yes. Well, either way, we think we've got 25% or to 30% of a second movie already shot from the prior production activity. So like the Avatars, they're filming them at the same time. And so obviously that will have some financial benefit. But ultimately, we are going to make sure we make a big and satisfying movie for a global audience once again. So just everything goes under the rug, make everyone happy, rewrite history. Beautiful. Gotta
check out
it.
A spin-off piece we have about R. Kelly called Age is Just a Number. He was superimposed, I tell you.
That what I've got a really bad clunky joke in my head. I can't think of it. That radiator needed to be refilled, something like that. The R. Kelly story. It wasn't the girl. It was the radiator.
There you go. Wait, what did he do? Was she near?
Just chained to a radiator and he peed.
Oh, really? Okay, got you. Okay,
yeah,
I haven't
in the
seen.
Basement.
I don't remember all the details in the R. Kelly piss video. It's been a while since I went back and rewatched it. But now that I got kids, you know what I mean? Like you go back and rewatch all the stuff from your younger days. We did Lion King yesterday. I think we'll probably do R. Kelly piss video next week at the beach.
There you go. You gotta ease them into it. You can't just hey, dude. you're in kindergarten now. Here's R. Kelly. You gotta go in slowly.
That's right. It's a lot of people know him for the song I Believe I Can Fly or Bump and Grind, but the real fans, the real R. Kelly fans like myself, know him for the classic song Do You Have Your Papers? Do You Have Your Shots? Or do you have your passport? Do you have your shots? Did you hear that one?
Do you have your passport?
It was so good. Do you have your passport? Do you have your shots? My favorite R. Kelly song ever.
It's a good one. Now, you could say this about R. Kelly. He doesn't have a shy bladder. A lot of people can't pee when someone else is around. He didn't seem to have that problem.
Could you imagine how bad it would be if, you've gone through that, you get the lighting guy, the sound guy and everything. And you're just like, guys, can you... I mean, I know the camera guy's got to look, but sound guy, can you look away? Lighting guy, once you're set, can you... I mean, there's just a lot. Yeah. I've pissed with other people shoulder to shoulder at the urinal, but to have a full sound and lighting crew, rolling. I just... Yeah.
I need the you need the headspace. You need the headspace. So.
What if they had to do like a few different takes? He was about to, and then it's like, guys, cut. Can we? Just
how much water he had in him?
Yeah, he's got it. He's just sitting there like he's about to run a marathon or something, and even the girl's kind of bored.
Grub's got one. R. Kelly, It's Raining Me.
Nice.
Good play on a song. Very good play on a song. Hey, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and it happened. Courses will be required at University of Iowa Center for Intellectual Freedom. Governor Reynolds signed the new law requiring students to take courses at the new center pushed by conservatives. Basically, universities are indoctrinating kids into liberalism, so conservatives pushed back by creating a course that talked about conservative values. No one fucking signed up. So they had to shit can it for its first year because they we've got to, no one signed up. So now they're making it mandatory.
That I have no doubt that this will inevitably backfire on them and bite them in the ass so hard. Making a bunch of college kids, forcing them to take some kind of right-wing college course. They're going to absolutely hate it. Are they teaching?
Pay for?
Yeah. Oh, they got to pay for it. That's right.
They got to pay for it. It's a required credit. It's not a, hey, we're making you take this, so it's a free, what's it called? When you, not audit, but either way, they have to pay. It is a Ghost Pepper. Nathan, did you see my question? I did not. So Ghost Pepper, I'm watching now. If you repeat your question, I will look for it. So Ghost
TikTok's
Pepper, please repeat your question.
Yeah. TikTok's kind of tough.
But yeah, it's going to be challenged in court. I mean, I don't know. Then again, I remember, I had to take so many history courses, so many science courses, so many math courses, so many, and none of that shit interested me. Well, some of the history shit did, but not all of it. But it's like, how do you set a course that says these are our values? You must learn about our values, or you could go fuck yourself.
Right. Yeah. Does it say in the article, is the course material going to be taught in English or in its original German?
That's good.
How are they doing
Okay,
this?
Ghost Pepper has a question for us. What are our thoughts on Instagram, Facebook AI falsely banning people for no reason with no human help? Isn't that what the algorithm has done the entire time? Or are you saying they fired all the human backs up? Like you can file an appeal and say like, hey, this content is good. I don't know enough about it. I think that's what they've been doing the entire time. Anytime I have received a ding, I've appealed and lost. Like they say, oh, this is abusive behavior. Like, no, it's not. I called Pam Bondi a piece of shit. That's not abusive. It's a fact, couched in an opinion.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We kept getting dinged for the Bondi stuff, huh?
Yeah, we did. Charlie says, I hope the students live stream the classes as they challenge those values. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, this is going to turn into a fucking circus, and I'm here for it, man.
Ghost Pepper says they're falsely accusing people of CSE and integrity and even abuse. That's what they've done the entire time. And TikTok is worse than Instagram, I believe, because Jake and I have talked about it a million times. Now that is all what ownership wants. Like Elon Musk, when he bought Twitter and created Grok, and someone asked Grok, who is the biggest danger to democracy and freedom? And it said, well, you've got Trump, you've got Elon Musk. And when that came out, Elon said, we're going to reprogram Grok. It's like, you shouldn't get to reprogram something that is just searching for information, but false accusations, that's just the norm now. I don't like it. Nobody likes it, but you have to be prepared for it. Richard just showed up. Yeah, we're not going to be on Sunday, Richard. We are here today because Jake's going on vacation.
Sorry,
so
sorry. I'm going to be out of town for like the next week or so.
Who's teaching the course? Do the women have to wear handmade outfits? Probably. I don't know if they will allow women in
I'm sure students are going to show up wearing handmade outfits to troll. Dude, this is going to be hilarious.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And again, I think we talked about this last time. She signed the bill. It doesn't go into effect until 2028. So that's 2 years or next year to file lawsuits, to issue complaints, to say this is bullshit. And it is. It's a bullshit thing.
I think if any students get forced to take this right-wing bullshit class, they should sue down the road for every dime of tuition they spent on it, plus punitive damages, plus time they could have spent doing other stuff, making money, taking other classes, whatever. I think this is going to turn into a circus. This is going to backfire on them so bad. I think the students are going to be bitter about it. I think they're going to be paying us because, like, look, conservatives are doing this because they rightfully say that most colleges have a very liberal lean to them. That's not bullshit. That's absolutely true. But I would argue the difference is, well, the professors and stuff are actually super liberal themselves. They're not being like, hey, here's now the Democratic Party is forcing this college in its state to take lefty class. Like that's something different. That's something different. Like if you just had a college where it was just some right-wing professors and they're like, now in the math class, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna learn statistics. Here's a statistic on how poor people are responsible for their own bullshit. You know what I mean? Like that's different than the Republican governor and the Republican Party in the state going, now you're gonna go to here's why poor people cause all their own problems class.
Yeah.
Signed into law by the Republicans. That's something very different.
Yeah, it is. It's funny how they always do what they accuse the other side of doing. It's fascinating to sit back and watch. Right. But the thing is as much as those fucking assholes yelled about, free speech, they would yell about stuff and like under the guise of free speech, but it would be stuff that the private sector was doing. It would be stuff that individuals and companies were doing.
Whereas now you have the government actually enforcing a lot of this stuff. You know, whether it's the FCC
Big
with
difference.
Trump or this bullshit with, you know, Kim Reynolds and her fucking fascist bullshit class she's forcing Iowa students to pay for. You know, and hey, man, kids in Iowa, if you don't want to do this shit, I encourage you, A, troll them, B, go to a school in a different fucking state. The year this is going to kick in, I'm transferring credits and I'm spending my money elsewhere. Fuck you.
And C, I didn't even realize this when I brought it up. This is complete accident. C, vote for a better governor. I've got my Rob Sand shirt on today. Yeah, vote for Rob Sand for governor. Let's get this changed.
Get out in the midterms, man.
All right.
Vote for Zach
Final
Walls,
story. I just sent this
native,
to you this morning, so I really haven't had time to look it over. So I don't even know what bend this article is going to take on it, or if it's just straightforward reporting. Pentagon drops 180 religions from its recognized faiths list. You
only kept the real ones, huh? The ones that made up bullshit with Harry Potter books from the desert from thousands of years ago. You know, the real ones with the talking snakes and the fucking ark with the animals and all that shit.
The Defense Department will only recognize 31 religious systems going forward, down from 211, according to a May memo obtained by military.com. The new list will provide chaplains with clear, readily available information that will better enable them to anticipate the religious and support needs of blah, 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 blah. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, how difficult would it be to, you know, deal with 211 bullshit belief systems? Like you said, oh, these are the real 31. But I mean, does anybody see the absurdity of this? You know, the military will recognize agnostics, Buddhists, not atheists. It's not a religion. So, I mean, it goes down to the list. Atheist is on the one that they specifically. Oh, it just wasn't alphabetical. I see. Agnostic. When I saw agnostic Buddhist, I thought it was going alphabetical. Hindu, Muslim, Jew, Sikh, a variety of Christian denominations. It will no longer recognize.
Right, that's what I said. Atheists, it's on the one that they want.
Druids. How many druids are out there? What the fuck is Incantar?
I'm culturally druid on my
mother's side. Heathen is a religion? Side. You're a heathen. Humanist magic.
You have no idea how bad I want to go back in time and put heathen on my fucking dog tags. I had so the first time I went over.
Wiccans are out. No more witches.
Yeah.
The fuck
no
is
more witches in the army. I don't know, man. It's probably some Viking shit. That sounds like some Viking shit.
It's not like I don't.
So I had the first time I got deployed, I had no pref on the religious thing, because when I remember this was in Mississippi, before I went over to Iraq, we were getting new dog tags, and you know, I'm filling out the stuff.
Charlie wants to know if Scientology is still on there.
That's a good listed. Goddamn question. I'll bet it is, man. It's a big enough, you know, religion.
I'm gonna AI while you talk about being in Mississippi.
Yeah. So we're filling out, because you know what, I think you just got your name, your social security number, your blood type, and then religion. I think that's all that's on the dog tags, right? So we just filled out a form that had that stuff, and I just left it blank, the religious stuff, because I was like, whatever. And she goes, "Oh, what's your religion?" You left it blank, and I was like, atheist, you know. And she just looks at me like, "Oh, I'll just put no preference." You would have thought I said, instead of going to church on Sundays, what I do is I slit the throat of newborns and I suck the blood dry. You would have thought I said, and showed her a picture of it. You would have thought I did that. And she would just, oh my sweet God. Oh Lord, you know, and like she didn't know what the hell to do, you know, and she was like, it was clearly the first time that it ever come up. So I had no pref on my, you know, pref being short for preference on my dog tags the first time around. Second deployment, I really wanted to troll harder. So do you remember a show called C Lab 2021?
Yeah. I remember.
Do you remember the Alvis Day episode?
I never watched it. I just remembered when they brought it around. Yeah.
There's a really good episode called the Feast of Alvis. Elvis is a parody of Jesus and the Christian religion, but he's like a drunken cowboy version of Jesus, who's all about drinking and gunfighting and getting revenge, And but the story kind of parallels it, And then all these different people on the ship have different religions, but like the captain wants to have Elvis Day, which is all about eating ham and drinking whiskey, and it's decorated with cowboy stuff because he's like a miracle birth, but he's like a cowboy gunslinger, right? So I put Alvian on my dog tags, right? So because I wanted, if I got killed in Afghanistan, I wanted some chaplain who, let's face it, is making a colonel's pay for reading Harry Potter books over dead soldiers. That's what we're paying this asshole to do.
Oscar Mayer on your body, they used to do the coins for the River Styx. You get a piece of Oscar Mayer on each eyeball.
And look, I'm not saying what those guys do isn't important. I think people should feel better about, you know what I mean? Like potentially dying. They should feel better about their loved ones dying if they're religious. Yeah, whatever, man. They should get stuff like that. But reading from the ancient Harry Potter book from the desert, I think we could get a private to do that. Yeah. Do we need a colonel for this? I don't think we need a colonel. I don't think we need to pay you, 150 grand a year or whatever. Anyway, so I wanted some colonel, some chaplain. If I'm like in pieces in a bag or whatever, he's sorting through my bloody bits. And here's the dog tag, or at least the piece that has the religion on here. What's that? Let me brush some of the guts off of here. Let me Alvian. What the fuck? I wonder what denomination is that, like Lutheran? Alvian. Here, let me Google that. And then he's got to Google this. And this grown man, this chaplain, is staring at a drunken cowboy cartoon messiah looking back at him. And that's it pops up. And he's like, well, I guess I got to say a few words over this over the puddle that's left of this guy. Blessed is Elvis. And blessed this guy. He died getting revenge. Let's all drink whiskey and eat ham. I don't know. I guess that's what he wanted.
That's a good way to go about it. Rebecca's given us lots of love over on TikTok. Thank you, Rebecca. To answer Charlie, I'll just read it. Hold on. Let me pull it up. I have it in front of me. The short answer is no. Scientology is not individually recognized anymore under the newly overhauled Pentagon system.
Scientology, sue them. They like to sue. Bastards are in for it now.
The Department of Defense completely gutted the military's official religious preference coding by slashing the number of recognized faiths from over 200 to down to just 31 broad categories. Because of this consolidation, Scientology was officially dropped as a standalone religious affiliation code.
Now, Scientology is ridiculous. Is it really that much more ridiculous than Christianity, Islam?
No. I have said this.
Got the elephant with all the fucking arms. What are we talking about here?
I have said this in defense of Tom Cruise multiple times.
Yeah, hey,
man. There's nothing different about the only thing that's different about Scientology is that L. Ron was more blatantly naked about the fact he was inventing some shit to make money. That's it.
Right. I will say it adds a level of a kind of naivety when you've actually got your prophet on camera babbling with fucked up teeth, sounding crazy.
Here's the difference and why, if Scientology were every quote real religion, every single real religion says we have the way, join our church, we want to enlighten you, we want to. Scientology is the only one that I can think of off the top of my head that says, hey, come pay us for courses. The religions seem to want to spread the message. Scientology is the only one that's blatantly honest and says, no, you got to pay to be audited. You cash up front, cash, check, or charge.
That's true. Most religions are like, spread the word of our prophet, the word of the one true God. This one's like, if you tell anyone what the prophet says, we'll fucking sue you into financial ruin.
Exactly.
That's why.
All right, let's get Jake on his vacation. I have been Nathan Timmel. You can find me at nathantimmel.com. Everything is there. Links to the bookstore, links to the apparel store, and stickers and magnets and hats and socks and shirts. Unapologetic is still on YouTube. Will always be on YouTube. Jake can be found at Jake Vevera on all social media, including his own YouTube page where he has his special Unalived by Dog Pills. Thank you for showing up on a Friday. We will not be here this
You guys are
coming
great,
Sunday.
man.
You will be back the following Sunday, though. You'll be back
Yes.
by. Okay, so
Yes,
we will be
I should be good. Regular time, same
good,
place.
good. I should be good too. Let me just double check. Lydia in Europe. No, she should be home by then. But either way, no, I got nothing. That's the 14th. So we should be back to normal on the 14th. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Jake is out of here. He's out of New York. He's going to the ocean.
There was a group of people in the 40s that wouldn't let you put Alvis on your dog tags. They were called Nazis. Fuck you, Hegseth.
I can't hit end. It's not ending. There
Wait,
we
I
go.
can't.